Welcome back to my messy to minimal mama journey, where today we are continuing on with my hoarder house cleanup series, and I am bringing you that real life cleanup motivation for hoarders and depression. So if you are one who struggles with hoarding on any level, but also struggles with cleaning house while living with depression, then this video is definitely for you. Let me help you get one step closer to decluttering your home and mind and free yourself from the stress of the clutter so that you can live happy and peaceful in your home. So go ahead, find that small space to get started with, and let's clean, declutter, and organize together right now. If I can do this, you can do this. Let's go.
Okay, you guys, so it's actually been a couple of days, but this is what we're going to take care of right now. We're going to go through all this. This was a craft station for my little guy, Jack, and then Kendall. They'll sit here, color. They'll do different sorts of crafts, different sorts of slimes and whatever. I got to take this away. I can't do this no more. I'd rather them at the table when they do it from now on. I want to get rid of this. It's just too much clutter. And then over here is all the homeschooling, sensory bins, different types of items for learning and education. That's actually a Valentine balloon that deflated, so we got to get rid of that. But my daughter started back up in public school, so a lot of this material is her homeschooling material that we just sort of had in piles here, but then, as everybody eats dinner or the dog comes and lays down, it kind of gets all bunched up and messed up. So I really need to get into that, declutter that stuff, and then, put away whatever I'm going to need for Jack. But yeah, and then over here, this actually contains all of the different homeschool items that I have as well. Now, I do have a plan for all my homeschool materials. I'm going to be storing them in Kendall and Jack's closet, which is coming up soon in my first home makeover project that I'm bringing you guys since starting this messy to minimal journey. So definitely stay tuned for that, but I'm going to have a designated home for all the homeschool materials where it can, get put away nicely and organized after we use it at the table. And that's how I want to do it. Cause really I've had no system except for the bins, and it just was not working out because the bins are full, and then we got new stuff and it's all over the floor, as you can see. This is the dog's blanket. We've been having rainy season, so when the dog comes in, I like to have a blanket so that he could sit there and dry off a little bit. These are winter boots. We're getting rid of those. Spring is a few weeks away, ready for it. I bought this little shoe rack from Dollar General. It was, I think, $6. So I was like, why not? Let's try it, just to kind of keep the shoes organized here. But really, all the kids do not bother to do that, and I really don't like the idea that it is right here by the kitchen table. In my perfect dream home, I would have a mudroom area and everybody would have their shoes taken off in the mudroom, but here we don't have that. So I tried to kind of do a makeshift shoe area, but I don't want it in the kitchen any longer. So people are just going to have to take their shoes off and walk it through to the designated shoe area in the front of the house. So kitchen table is clear. I still have all these items that I need to put away and create a home down there, but that's in one of the next videos, so stay tuned for that. So we're going to get this finished. I hope that you guys are up, moving along with me and getting a space clean, decluttered, and organized in your home, because, we got to get it together. We're going to do this. Let's go.
So in today's video, I really want to touch on being a hoarder and having depression. So first, let me start off by saying that hoarding comes in different levels. I understand I am not a hoarder as seen on the show Hoarding Buried Alive or Hoarders Buried Alive on A&E. I know I don't have it that bad, but if you continue to follow along on this messy to minimal journey, you guys are going to be shocked when you see a couple of my rooms, actually a few of my rooms. There are some rooms that are almost that bad, but without the filth, without the bugs and without the food saving and stuff like that. So my form of hoarding definitely involves a collection of clutter and things to the point where it makes my spaces not functionable, and it really does inhibit my quality of life and like how happy I can truly be in my home. And so when it comes to hoarding for me, and remember, this is my experience that I'm sharing with all of you. I understand that there are all different types of hoarding out there. So, I can't speak for that. I'm only speaking for what I live with and what I struggle with here. And so just like minimalism, hoarding is not a one size fits all either. A lot of you understood right away from my last video that, there's extreme levels of hoarding, and then there's mild levels of hoarding, and then there's, others in between. I would consider myself more of I wouldn't say mild, let's just say somewhere in the middle, because you guys are going to see, if you guys continue to follow along on this journey, I have spaces in my home that honestly I'm super embarrassed of, and they're just so overwhelming. Like, I don't even know how to get started. So I've been trying to develop a plan on how to get started with those spaces in my home that are super, super cluttered, like to the point, like I said, like can't even use those rooms. And honestly, it's embarrassing. Like, this is not who I am. This is mental illness. This is hoarding with depression. This is depression with hoarding and OCD and just this vicious cycle that I want so badly to break. And that is why I'm here. That is why I come here to show up for you, to let you see that if I can do this, you can do this. We no longer have to live in all this clutter, all this hoard. We can dig our way out of the stuff. Every time I'm here cleaning a space, decluttering a space, organizing a space, I know that I am beating my depression and I am beating the hoarding. And that's why I wanted to talk about depression with hoarding, because my hoarding is actually a symptom of my depression and also of my OCD. Most of you know here that I suffer from OCD and depression and anxiety. And the problem with that is when you have a hoarding problem like I do, or some sort of hoarding tendencies, which means, that urge to want to keep things and have a difficult time with letting go of those things. When you have OCD, you are going to obsess a million times over in your head of how to even get started on decluttering the space. And then you're going to obsess over what do I get rid of? And then you're going to start obsessing over the fact that maybe there are some items that are really nice. You just never used them because you've thrown them in the pile of the clutter and you forgot about them. So then you struggle with well, I want to give it a chance. I want to try it out. I want to maybe use that once I get through the decluttering of it and then keep it for that. But then it's well, how many items are you going to end up with that, are you ever going to even be able to let go and declutter the hoard? So that is kind of how my brain works when it comes to my OCD. It's just this obsessive way of thinking, and it just loops around and around to the point where I get so overwhelmed. I'm I don't even want to get started. And then I start to become depressed. Okay. And when I become depressed, it's oh, I'll just throw this in that pile and I'll deal with it later. So with my depression comes procrastination, as with many of you. You guys have, talked about that in the comments. So it's just this vicious cycle of having depression and then hoarding, because you're sort of stockpiling your inventory in your home because you're too depressed right now to even deal with it, to start cleaning or decluttering or organizing. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help bring you that real life messy house cleaning motivation for depression and hoarding, and help you see that if I am doing this, you can do this. So seriously, just get up right now, go find that small space in your house and just work through that clutter by just looking at it, picking it up, and just at least getting rid of 5 things if you could. And one of the most important things in this Hoarder House cleanup series, and even just through this minimalism journey, is you have to remember your why. So why do you want to declutter your home? And you just have to keep that ingrained in your mind every time you're going to tackle a declutter project or start cleaning. Remember why you're actually doing it. So my why for this messy to minimal journey is because I just want to be free from the stress mess, all the clutter that steals my time, it steals my joy, it makes me cranky and just exhausted all the time. I feel like I'm spending so much time managing objects and things in my home. And then when I'm too depressed to even deal with it, I have to just, keep walking by and seeing all these hoarding piles in my home. And then we're not able to utilize the spaces like we should be so that we can function as a happy family. And it is now starting to affect my kids. And they are my number one why. Okay. So I see that. And I can talk more about that in the next video, but that's my why. So remember your why and let that be your driver to get you through the mess, to get you cleaning your depression, cleaning your hoarding, and just, finally freeing yourself from that clutter and that stress mess. And you may be thinking it's not even worth it. Oh, I'm too old now, or, my kids are already out of the house, or you maybe have a physical ailment that holds you back. I'm just going to tell you, there's always a way that you can do a little work each day. And even if it means like you cannot stand, then go pull up that chair and sit next to that pile, or get on the floor with a pillow and sit next to that pile and just start sorting it out. And if you need to, ask a family member. I know there's a lot of shame that comes with hoarding. Believe me, I know. Every time my doorbell rings, I panic. And it's okay because I know that my house is just in limbo right now. It's not going to be like this forever because I am so determined to be able to open that door when the doorbell rings and let my kids have their friends over. So I'm digging my way out, and I'm here to show you that if I can do this, you can do this. And I got your back. So start small. I'm going to be here every week bringing you guys one of these videos until my whole home is minimalized or minimalist, whatever you call it. I just want to live with the bare minimum because I don't want to have to manage things anymore. I want to have that time available to spend with my kids and without feeling guilty or having to feel like I have to let the house go. So I'm just really cracking down on myself. So you just have to kind of sit within yourself, write down, journal your why. Why do you want to declutter your home? And then try to remember that every time you start a new decluttering project or start to clean. And, hopefully that helps keep you motivated. But I'm here the whole way. So even if you're not able to clean or declutter with me right now, you can always come back here to YouTube and my videos will be here for you. And again, I'll be here every week. Our homes are a reflection of who we are. And I really get so angry with myself when I see where I'm at right now and the fact that I am 43 and it's like, what, WTH? But you know what? It's okay because we can always change. We can always start over. We could start right now. So let that be your message. And remember, I'm here for you.
Hey, listen up, I've tried to tell you this 100 times. Not getting better by lying there pretending to cry. You on repeat, you can't see shit cause you have closed your eyes. You say you listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. I try to help you, but you keep reading between the lines. There's nothing there for you to complicate, we're not aligned. You say you listen, but guessing that's just another sign. Not growing up, you're growing old, your life keep passing by. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. intuition efficient, cause I can't use my mind. Don't try to tell me how it's done. You haven't done your time.
Okay, so if you guys remember, I did put a bunch of stuff in this bucket from the table. So this is definitely recycling, trash, trash, recycling, trash. Whoop. And I'm just gonna rinse this stuff off. These are the kids' fidgets. They love this stuff, so I'm not gonna throw that out. And then we're gonna put this with the Pokemon collection. Put this in a piggy bank. And then this is something that my daughter is working on for church. So got to put that with her church folder. That goes with that too. But you guys always see me moving stuff around. In the end of it all, it takes so much time to film everything. But I wanted to show you guys that, this is what I do in the end. Like if I throw a bunch of little stuff in a bucket or something, then I'll sort through and I'll put everything where it needs to go. I do that with all my piles. So that's what I ended up doing with all the stuff that was on the table. I put everything in the proper space, in the proper room. And right now, like all the homeschooling materials are waiting to be rehomed once we finish that makeover. So that's that. So I'm going to wrap up this video, put everything back in place. Everything's been vacuumed, cleaned, dusted, wiped down. I'm going to finish it off right now. So if you guys want to stick around and wait for the final result to see when everything's put back in place. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Well, I really hope that this Hoarder House cleanup series is bringing you that real life cleanup motivation for hoarding and depression and helping you to declutter those spaces in your home and bring you one step closer from messy to minimal. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how far you have gotten with this video, if you've made more progress or not. Maybe you need to start tomorrow. That's okay. Remember, I'm always here on the YouTube for you. I got your back. I'm all about helping you clean your house while living with depression, anxiety, hoarding, and also bringing you that real life minimalism for moms and beginners. So if any of this sounds like you and you're new here, feel free to subscribe and join on this messy to minimal journey and get one step closer to decluttering not only your home, but your mind. For now, I'm going to say stay mighty and God bless.